Well, welcome to Imane Rose from Purview Life. It's such a pleasure. She's a rock star there in the Tulsa area. And Imane, will you please tell anybody who may not know what is Purview Life and what is their mission?
Well, Purview Life has been in Tulsa for the past 11 years. And you would think that everybody in Tulsa would know what Purview Life is and what we're all about. But you know what? 11 years, I guess, is not long enough. We're still a best kept secret in Tulsa when it comes to helping families, referral sources with navigating the elder years and the special needs years. So what is different about us? Obviously, when I say that, you might think, well, there are plenty of people who do that, right? And there are, and thank God there are, because we all know the numbers. We all know how overwhelming they are. I don't think we can have enough services. And you and I always talk about how it takes a village. So Purview Life is an aging life care management company. Well, what does that mean? That means when a family needs clarity, objectivity, and expertise. For instance, if you have a new reality in a family and someone just has a diagnosis of dementia, of course, there are plenty of resources, plenty. Alzheimer's Association, hospitals, social workers, but they don't go home with you and they don't stay with you along the journey. What Purview Life does is it actually helps manage life along with emotions, along with managing expectations. But the beauty about what we do is once the family hires us, we have one objective and one objective only, is how do we make your life the best that it can be given your circumstances, whether it's dementia, whether it's a difficult healthcare situation, or it could be geographic distance where the kids don't live nearby. It could be somebody who's all alone in the world and needs somebody to be their healthcare power of attorney. It can be that your next door neighbor has been exploited financially and you have taken notice of that and you want to help safeguard her. In cases like that, we become a guardian. So in short, we are like a general contractor when you go build a house. People come to us because we're that one point person that can put his or her arms around the entire process and manage all the moving pieces, whether it's home health, hospice. Now, we don't do home health. We're not hospice. We don't do home care. We don't do housekeeping, but we hire all of these people to do it and manage them all. So from simple consultation, because some families, all they want is a little consultation, a roadmap, some language. So we can do just a simple consultation. Advocacy is huge, Trisha. Nobody knows that better than you because you're an advocate for anyone and everyone that I know. We're advocates. We can go to doctor's appointment, manage healthcare, advocate with a family member. So advocacy is really big, especially during COVID. Being somebody's healthcare power of attorney and ultimately, and hopefully not, but when needed, being someone. So as you can see, it's a little bit of a different concept that people are not familiar with. And it can be a little bit scary because you're like, who are these people and what do they do? But 9 times out of 10, when people contact us and see the value that we bring to the table, we tend to keep them for a long time. Does that make it clear at all?
I think it does. And I will say that I visited your wonderful website, which had so much information and some very scary statistics. I think one of them that I read was that the average caregiver or family member lives probably 480 miles away from the person they're caring for. I mean, there's no way that you can care for that person because there's so many cracks to slip through in care and continuance of care if you're trying to manage it long distance.
Well, one of the things that we do that I failed to mention, which I know that, a lot of people have the need for Medicaid planning and Medicaid planning attorneys. And we collaborate with Medicaid planning attorneys because our services are a really great way for spend down. And I know that you know a lot of really good ethical, honest attorneys that do the best
I
that they
do.
can.
I do.
You do.
Do that.
Yeah.
And that can get very tricky. So you need to have professionals on both sides of the fence there to help you navigate that process. The other thing I really liked about the website is they were like case studies. They were like
Mm-hmm.
scenarios that I think were so good, because it even got down to, this is how much it would cost you, if this goes wrong, which I don't think people appreciate, how much things can cost if they're trying to manage it from the other side of the world or the United States. And as you said, the people that you're hiring to perform these services, you've checked them out. You're there, you're on the ground monitoring these things, which is so important. So important.
And like you said, people living far away, definitely we bring a lot of value in that. But even people who live next door, because emotions are so heightened during these times, and people are making decisions while their emotions are heightened. And I always say, when emotions rise, intelligence drops, and that's all that there is to it. Um, Value to the table by the objectivity, managing people's emotions, keeping them in the lane, keeping them in, working towards a common goal. But I just really do want to take this opportunity to not only thank you for having me here today, but also thank you for all you do for our elder population. And we this is how you and I met, but we also handle a lot of special needs. We have a lot of special needs cases where the 85-year-old mom and dad are cannot take care of that special need 50-year-old child like they used to, and this is where we can also come in and help them.
Absolutely. And I know on our side of things, we're not fans of guardianships unless they're absolutely necessary. And I know to us in the Tulsa area, it's so nice to know that we can reach out to your company, because that's something that you handle. That's just invaluable to have that.
Well, thank you. There are many people who have worked a lifetime to have a good end of life. And as much as I agree with you, we're not fans of guardianship either. And of course, you hear horror stories. That's why you have to be careful. And that's why you have to go to a company like ours, who belongs to the National Association of Aging Life Care Managers, and has a governing body that looks out conduct and all of that. But when guardianship is necessary, having the right person being the guardian, and of course we have to account for everything that we do and report to the court once a year. So as unfavorable of a proposition as that is, doing it the right way can really safeguard someone.
Absolutely, because sometimes it is needed. It's absolutely needed.
Right.
You need the right person managing that guardianship, and family is not always the best to step in and
Or
manage.
sometimes there's no one to step in, which is so sad, and who's going to safeguard these people?
Yes. Well, I know in my household, we have a baby boomer, and
Oh, really? Who is it?
not me. Not me, not
Yeah,
yet.
I didn't think so. Not me either.
Yeah, not yet. But it is quite, the silver tsunami is here, and it's gathering steam, and there's going to be such a strain, I think, on healthcare, and we need resources and valuable tools to be able to equip what's coming, the aging population.
And I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's really important for a company like ours to exist because we're not attached to any insurance company, doctor, hospital. We don't have any rules and regulations being enforced upon us to make a decision that we may or may not feel good about. So, again, I'll say it one more time. Once you hire us, the only objective we have is, how do we give you the best life possible under your circumstances? How do we do that? And no one is going to dictate to us, and our conscience, that is.
Right. That advocacy is so important for the client. for the person that you're
Yes.
caring for. You're right about that. So where did the concept for Purview Life, is this a franchise? Is it in any other part of the country?
Well, actually, it started back in the late 80s in New York. Um, Social workers in the New York City were frustrated with the system, with the fragmented system, and saw that there was so much need that was being missed, and that there was a need for this. And they just got together in somebody's house and started that, like what, maybe with 2 or 3 of them in New York, and the concept caught on. And now there are about, I would say, in our association, over 2,000 care managers across the country.
Wow.
Not very well known in the middle of the nation. However, if you go to the East and West Coast, everyone know what an aging life care manager is. As a matter of fact, we heard that in Manhattan, they're tripping all over each other.
Oh, wow.
So lucky for them, because they get to serve their community and no one gets to suffer in silence, you know? So as far as franchising, actually, we are franchising our concept, but there are no other franchises that I know. There's one other company that franchises aging life care management, and it's on the East Coast. So we are offering franchises, but we would hope that we can keep it in the middle of the nation, because again, no one really knows what it is.
Right. Well, hopefully with us doing these video presentations, we can educate more people. And so if people are interested in contacting for a consult or just more information about Purview Life and your services, how can they get that information?
Well, as you said, we have a website that they can fill out a form. However, a really speedy way to get a hold of us is to call 918-935-2020. And there's always someone answering the phone. You will not get an answering machine. So that is our goal. So either a call, an email, or go on the website and fill out the contact form, and we get right back with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Imane. I miss you. I miss being in Tulsa proper. And hopefully when all this stuff is over, we can all get together and have a big party and network and celebrate.
Right. I can't wait. And thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you very, very much. And if anyone, wants to we have a half-hour consultation on the phone. If people are in need, please give us a call, and not the answer, which we are happy to send you in the right direction.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trisha. Have a good day. Can't wait to get together again.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.